Europe's checkbook is bleeding red. Since Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine, the EU and its member states have poured $186 billion into Kyiv's fight, $92 billion in financial and humanitarian aid, plus $10 billion in 2025 alone for military sustainment. Now, with President Donald Trump's abrupt pivot on Ukraine, the tab is skyrocketing. A September 23rd Truth Social post, following a 3-hour UN General Assembly huddle with Volodymyr Zelensky, laid it bare.
I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. With time, patience, and the financial support of Europe, and in particular NATO, the original borders from where this war started is very much an option.
Translation: Europe buys, America sells, and the bill could push the EU to the brink. The numbers are punishing. Of €10.5 billion in European commitments from May-June 2025, €4.6 billion went to US defence contracts, including €26.41 million for F-16 parts. Germany, rewriting its constitution to borrow big, pledged €5 billion. The Nordic bloc, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Netherlands, kicked in $1 billion for Patriots and shells. Spain added $1.1 billion. Finland $720 million. And the Netherlands another $540 million for drones. The EU's $54 billion Ukraine facility through 2027 and $20 billion share of G7 loans from frozen Russian assets already strain budgets. Add up to $90 billion in potential US weapons buys over the next few years, Patriot batteries, air patrols, and Europe's fiscal tightrope phrase. Analysts warn that a $20 to $30 billion in annual arms buys could hike EU debt to GDP ratios by 1 to 2% by 2030, risking fiscal collapse for economies like Italy or Spain. France, digging in, pushes homegrown arms, but EU treaties bar direct budget use for foreign weapons, forcing nations to borrow alone. Trump's pivot wasn't whimsy. His February Oval Office clash with Zelensky had him pushing Kyiv to cede Crimea and Donbass for peace. But Putin's intransigence in an August Alaska summit, plus Russia's airspace provocations over NATO, shifted the calculus. Ukraine's grit, holding 70% of its pre-2022 turf, sealed it. Trump's July deal with NATO's Mark Rutte set the stage. No more US freebies. Europe buys American weapons and ships to Kyiv. Trump is betting on Ukraine to bleed Russia dry, but only if Europe pays. The US is cashing in. Arms exports, 43% of the global market, hit $318.7 billion in 2024, a 29% surge, with Ukraine-related deals driving 26%. Projections for 2025 see a 15-20% spike, fueling 800,000 jobs from Arizona to Alabama. Ukraine's $66.5 billion in US aid since 2022, valued at $18.3 billion after depreciation, boosts GDP by $10–15 billion annually. Lockheed and Raytheon shares are up 25% in 2025. A floated 10% markup on sales could fund US air cover, no taxpayer dime needed. In Ukraine's muddy trenches, Zelensky's steel porcupine, 80,000 EU-trained troops, homegrown missiles, gains time. But Europe's caught between solidarity and solvency. Keep buying American and debt spirals. Pivot to local arms and Trump's deal falters. As Putin fumes and US factories hum, the war's ledger is clear. Europe's writing checks, America's cashing them.